Hey everyone, how's it going? Big LT here. Welcome back to another Let's Open TCG video, and I'm sitting on the floor because my legs are tired because today I went with my grandma to do some shopping, and let's see here, she picked me up at about 8. We got home at roughly about 2:30, 3 o'clock. It wasn't, well, close to 3. I think it was more like 2:45, but I'll say 2:30 just to be on the safe side. But while I was with her, I actually found the Scarlet and Violet Paradox Rift. And the story about these is that, first off, bless my grandma for buying these for me, because I don't think I would have had the money to A, get these, and B, get the Y Schwartz that I'll be doing later this month. Not to mention, I already got the trial deck pre-ordered for that set, but I need to see if I can get the booster packs when they go live, which will be in a few days, I think. Let me think here. Is it the 14th or the 17th? I remember. No, 17th. Okay, because I remember Farming Simulator 22 has the premium expansion coming out on the 14th, and I believe Slime Rancher 2 has its new update coming out on the 14th as well. So I think it's the 17th. That's like 6 days from the time I'm recording this. But anyway, so I didn't have the money to buy this, and I asked my grandma. I said, "Hey, would you be willing to buy me 3 of these, and I could pay you back $20 in beginning of the month when I got paid?" And she said, "You know what? I'll do it." So thanks to my grandma. She is awesome. I love her. And just so you guys know, so when I got the Paradox Rift things, I made sure that the outer casing was all Iron Valiant, because I love Iron Valiant the most out of all the Paradoxes. And I started becoming starting a semi-competitive team, and my first starting Pokemon that I started becoming using the semi-competitive team is actually Iron Valiant. So I'm dedicating a little bit of this video to Iron Valiant, and I've been using it in raids, and it has been very reliable. I know it has Swords Dance as one of its attacks. I did not give it the held item of the booster drive, only because you only get one in the entire game, and I don't know if it's like a single-use item. Doesn't have one of those. No, it doesn't. So it would be more or less just for one of those things where it's like, well, if you can use it and still get it back in the end because you're not using it. Because I don't want to use it, I don't want to give it to him and then accidentally go into a random wild battle and then accidentally use it and be like, crap, And then all of a sudden it's like, because I don't know if it's single use or not. I just don't want to take the chance that if it is single use, that I'm losing out on an item that is probably competitive, but also probably makes it broken. So, yeah. So, anyway, let's begin the first pack here. We're going to start with Tuxel. That's kind of cool. Now, you guys are probably asking, are you expecting any Paradox Pokemon in your sets? No, but I would be happy if I even get one, and if I do get one, I'm hoping for an Iron Valiant. But I'm not going to hold my, I most likely will probably get a Legendary, but then again, the Paradoxes are the closest thing to, but they're more pseudo-legendaries, unless you count, the actual Paradoxes of the legendaries that we've been getting. Like, Verizon, Suicune, Raikou. Well, Raikou hasn't been out yet, but it will soon, and so as will be Cobalion. And now people are already expecting, well, why not give us a Paradox of Entei and Terrakion? And, hey, we complete the set, but anyway, Spinda is next. Let's just guys look at that a little more better. Okay. Next up is Nimble. Actually, shiny hunted this before, and the blue turns yellow if I remember right. So it's kind of cool. The evolution's kind of okay. I mean, I don't know if I'll be one of those things of I'll be using it. That's the cool thing about Pokemon. Sometimes a Pokemon can look so bad, but is very reliable and competitive, and people just don't give it the time of day, because they just don't like the design. But anyway, Elekid. Orbeetle is next. This is actually a Pokemon. Yeah, this is a Pokemon from Galar, actually. But Pokemon. They put these things in. They put Pokemon from past games into newer games, with the exception of Black and White. When it first came out, because it was like, okay, when Black and White came out, during the story, all you can catch is just nothing but Pokemon that were introduced in Unova. When you get to the post game, then you can do it. But then when you got Black 2 and White 2, you started in a different part of Unova, you can get new Pokemon, or previous Pokemon. And that usually led to getting Pokemon like Riolu, Mareep, Magnemite, Magby, Elekid, guys like that. Next up, we got Clough. Luxurious Cape. You got too much reading for me right now. I'm tired. I'm sorry. You guys can just pause the video and read it yourself if you want. Make sure you have it up there in time so you guys can pause it and next up we got Pansage. I do actually like the elemental monkeys, even like Panseer, Simisear, Pansage, and Panpour and Simipour. I like them for reasons that I kind of like all Pokemon equally, and I always like to give most of the Pokemon a little time of day. Next up we have. I still don't know how to pronounce this Pokemon's name. I'm sorry, but I should know how to pronounce these Pokemon's names by now. I just haven't learned them all completely right now. And I probably heard this name before. I just haven't really officially pronounced it myself. It's like kind of like back in the days of Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald when I used to say Rayquaza for the first time, but I call it Rayquazilia. And yeah, I know, right? And it wasn't until Destiny Deoxys they say Rayquaza, and I was like, oh. So yeah, sometimes it takes the anime to help me pronounce these Pokemon's names, like Rayquaza did. I think the same thing happened to Kyogre too. I think I used to call it Kyogre, but I could be wrong. Next up is Low Kicks. And the last card in this pack is a basic Grass Energy. You don't have to hold that up for too long because it's just a Grass Energy. All right. Pack number 2. What was the... Okay, so far, opened up 2 of them with Iron Valiants on the front. So far, the packs in the inside is basically Garchomp with the Water Terror type. I don't know. Also, you guys are probably wondering, like, as the time we're recording this, you're probably like, wait a minute, how come you haven't been doing anything for Scarlet and Violet as far as your Let's Play is concerned, and doing stuff with your friends, like you have been doing? And my answer to that is simple. I'm shiny hunting the legendaries in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, including the Ultra Beasts, because I want to get those guys. I want to get the shiny versions of those Pokemon into my Switch as soon as possible, even if I have to put them in Sword and Shield and before Scarlet and Violet. I have gotten my recent one. My recent one I caught was a shiny Palkia. But in my Pokemon Violet, I've already got Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza in my Violet as a shiny, and I love them. I love those trios. I was always more of a Kyogre fan and then a Rayquaza fan than a Groudon fan, but it doesn't mean I don't like Groudon the best. I do. It's just, here's the thing: if I had to choose between Team Aqua or Team Magma, regardless of the fact that I can't swim, I would choose Team Aqua. And not to mention Sapphire being my birthstone and Kyogre being the mascot and the box art of Sapphire version, I kind of have to go with my boy Kyogre more. And then Rayquaza being green, basically right now. Currently, my favorite color used to be blue, but now it's changed to green because of Miku. But Miku's kind of got turquoise hair, so it's kind of a mixture of blue and green. So because of that, I kind of make in the middle of both of those. Like, it's kind of like the Kanto games. Like, I would probably choose green version if it existed in in the US, but we got red, blue, and yellow, and truth be told, I played a lot of red version. I will admit, I played a lot of red version. Not so much the blue, mostly yellow. But if green version did happen in the States, I definitely would have chose green version over the other ones. Mainly because I like Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur has been my favorite. But anyway, the first card in this pack is Pharaoh Seed. Sorry, it took me a while. I just sometimes have to say stuff that I like to talk about. Next up, we got Gibble. If only the Groby was here, he'd do the Gibble voice. But alas, he is not. Next up, we got is Panpour. Next up, we got is Blitzel. Ooh, maybe it's a sign of things to come. Future Booster Energy Capsule. Iron Valiant is a future paradox. It might happen. That's a sign of things to come. Maybe we'll get lucky. Who knows? Next up we got is Simisage. I'm confused. This set is based on Paldea, right? Everything that's usually these sets are based on Paldea, right? Or at least the Scarlet and Violet ones. Any like if you do Sword and Shield, it's based on things from Galar. First off, this was in here. Why a gym leader from Hoenn is in a set that's based on Paldea, I don't know. But then again, in the anime, he is Mei's father, and Mei is actually my favorite Poke waifu, but I don't think I'm getting anything with Mei involved, but I'd be surprised. Anyway, next up we got is Thievul. Let's get back on track, shall we? Actually, if we're talking about Paldea waifus, obviously it's going to be Iono, but yeah. And next up we got is Blip Bug. And the holo here, that I guess it's the holo. Oh, I should probably discard that part. The holo we got here is Morpeko, but it's the dark type one. And it's pretty cool looking. I wonder if Parker would want this card or something. That might be something she might want. Who knows? And then the energy we have is a basic fighting energy. Don't have to show that off too much because everybody knows what those energy cards look like. If you're a Pokemon fan, you know what an energy card is. You obviously seen them all. Of course, at the start of 6th gen, we got that fairy energy. Do they even still use fairy energies? Do we even have those anymore? I don't think I've ever seen well, fairies are still a thing. There are Pokemon who are just basically only fairy types, so I would imagine that's still in the TCG. Actually, I'm curious if Dragon is still a thing in the TCG. I don't know if Dragon have been in the TCG for a while. I knew it existed for a short time. I think at the start of the Black and White series. But recently I just realized, like, I don't think I've seen any more Dragon cards anymore, at least for the energy or the Pokemon or anything like that. Anyway, first up, for the last pack of the day, Bound Suite. Next up we got is Feebas. I love Feebas. It's weird to say, but I love Feebas. I even love Milotic. So it is a pain to hunt this thing, but once you get one, you better take care of that sucker. I'm just saying. Next up we got is a Pump. Pansage again. I think we've seen this one, but just in case if it's different, I'll just show it off for a little bit. Cyclizar. Everybody in Paldea has a Cyclizar. Main player, legendary, would be Koraidon or Miraidon. I've always wanted to shiny hunt Cyclizar, and I have been tried before in the past, but it's just so hard to hunt. And I think unless I breed for one, it's just Not going to happen. Oh, shoot. I'll get to that in a bit. But next card is Toadscruel. I do like the shiny of Toadscruel. Toadscruel, Groby has opinions about that I will not bring up on YouTube. It is not appropriate. Now, anyway, the thing I was referring to earlier. Yeah, Paradox. Not the Paradox I was actually hoping for, but it's Slitherwing, Ancient. It's from Scarlet. Yes. It's based on Volcarona, and you know it's okay. You know. Next up we got is Gelbat. Next up. One moment. First off, here's an Octillery. Here's an Octillery. Son of a... As much as I pulled Pokemon cards in my whole life, I never pulled anything like this before in any pack. This one's a first for me, ladies and gentlemen. And though it may not be an Iron Valiant, but damn, I've never pulled anything like this before. This is cool! This is worth a sleeve, and I will put that in a sleeve later. Holy! I wish it was Iron Valiant. I don't even know if they have a full art Iron Valiant. Oh my god! I pulled one. Wow! I've always told I've heard my friend. I have a friend who works at Walmart. I know him because he plays Pokemon too. We used to have a Pokemon club kind of thing here back in the days of Black 2 and White 2. There used to be a Pokemon League here in town. He came to that Pokemon League. We became friends. I found out he started working at Walmart, and we used to go back and forth about things like shiny hunting, Pokemon cards. Whenever Pokemon cards comes up, he'll talk about some stuff he pulls in packs. I usually hear that he pulls some kind of full art card almost all the time. And granted, he always buys Pokemon cards more than I do. And that's probably what's bothering. That's probably what separates it. But if I go out and buy Pokemon cards every single day, I guarantee you I would never get something like that much as often as he does. That is cool. I need to find out how much that costs later. But anyway, the last card, obviously, this is the energy, the basic electric energy. Okay. Well, actually, I don't think I need to put the Slitherwing in a thing. You know what? No, I don't think I need to. It may be worth a little, but not that much. Wow, thank you, Grandma. Holy cow. If I didn't ask her to help me to do this for me, I would have never gotten that card. I would have never gotten full art. So give me a sec as I go get a sleeve. I gotta find them. Oh wait, I found one already. And I should know where they are because you know, sticking with the theme that this is Paldea cards, I might as well use a little something myself. Ooh. Oh my god, that is a pull for the century for me. Yes, it is. For anybody else, they can pull stuff like this all the time because they probably buy like 10 packs a day, or well, not a day, but probably a month, but or heck, maybe even a week, 2 weeks. I don't know how often they get paid, but dang, that was lucky. That was my first ever full art card, and oh, that was awesome. I love it. I love it. Actually, I gotta be honest. Growing up, Magnemite was also one of my favorite electric type Pokemon. Back in the days when I was playing like Pokemon Stadium 2, sometimes I would use Magnemite because I just love Magnemite that much. But I also liked Elekid, and I think Elekid was what introduced me to be kind of an electric type fan. They used to do these, I think this was Burger King that did this, but they used to do these things where it was like a little toy thing with some kind of card attachment thing or whatever. I can't remember, but I do remember what it looked like. It was an Elekid holding a nest of Execute. I remember that much. And I think this was something that they had at Burger King back in the 90s. It was one of the main reasons why I loved electric type Pokemon in the first place. That and Raikou was another big example. Voltorb was another example too. So, and you probably guys are probably like, well, what about Pikachu? Pikachu's okay, but he's not that. I wouldn't say he's not that good. No, he's okay. It's just that he wasn't something that sparked me to become an electric type fan to begin with. It was more of Elekid, Magnemite, Voltorb, and Raikou. Those are the main four. Back in the 90s when it was just Kanto and Johto Pokemon. Actually, is there any other electric I can think of quickly? Electabuzz, but that took a second to realize that Elekid evolved in Electabuzz, and then when Sinnoh came out, obviously Electivire. And the same goes for like Magneton and Magnezone. What's some other examples of electrics that I like? Jolteon, favorite evolution right there, main favorite actually. Out of all the evolutions, Jolteon is my number one pick. I will always choose the Jolteon, no matter what. If I play a Pokemon game that just came out and I get a shiny Eevee, for the first time while I'm shiny hunting that Eevee, I will always go for Jolteon. With the exception of Pokemon, actually no, Pokemon Go, I remember you used to just nickname your Eevee just to evolve into whatever it was, but it was a one-time thing. After that, you have to just randomly evolve it. But I guess at that time, I always did go for Jolteon for the time. As I mentioned, Zapdos. That's another one right there. Probably my favorite out of the three legendary birds. That includes Articuno and Moltres. I did this because I added Zapdos. Let me think of one more, and then I will sign off here. What other electric types are there? Trying to think. But it has to be with Kanto and Johto. I mentioned Peach. Well, actually, Peachy a little bit, but not so. Pichu was okay, but it's not. It's kind of the same with Pikachu and Raichu. I will admit, Alolan Raichu is not too bad. I like the shiny for it. Better than what they did with just normal Cantonia one. So, you know what? I know it's Alolan, but I'll just throw that one right out there. Alolan Raichu, pretty good. I actually like it. I like the fact that it becomes a Psychic type, too, to go with it. That's cool. And it uses its tail as a surfboard. That, actually, I want to say, was an inspiration for... there was a Surfing Pikachu event, and if you altered it in a Raichu and put it in Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Stadium 2, I know this because there were certain CPUs that did this, and you couldn't do it any other way. At least I don't think you could. But the Raichu would use its tail as a surfboard whenever you surf in Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Stadium 2. I love that feature, and when they did Alolan Raichu and they did the same thing, I was like, yes, because it's based on Alola. Alola is known for its surfing, or at least Hawaii is. And Hawaii is based on Alola is based on Hawaii, excuse me. And because the Raichu uses the whole surfing technique while being a Psychic type, was just, I gotta give it credit. I like it. But anyway, I think that'll wrap it up. So thank you all so much for watching this Let's Open TCG video. Little bit of a story type of thing mixed with the opening of the packs. I know it took about 20 minutes to get here. Well, technically speaking, I'm looking at my recording session. 23 minutes and 40 seconds. But hey, we're here for the ride. I don't mind. I have to thank my grandma so much for this, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have gotten that full art card, and I would have missed out on it. Oh man, I'm so happy she did that for me. Thank you so much, Grandma. Actually, this has actually been a pretty good month for me for the TCG thing, because with the Azure Lane Y Schwartz one that I did, which you should probably go check after this, because in that video I actually had a signature card that or as a signature card, I mean, like, it was a card that was signed. The only thing is it was in a trial deck, so I don't know what the value of that is because it was in the trial deck, or if there was a different odds to go with it. But it was really cool. I never got a signed card from White Schwartz, and I just started collecting White Schwartz not too long ago. So, kind of actually. I think I started with just 9 Miku cards that were really cheap that I bought on Amazon, but I wanted to actually buy the packs and the trial decks and start playing that game. And I think it was until we actually did the Harui trial deck or booster pack, whatever the one was. We did those, and basically that was me starting my journey into White Schwartz to get into a trading card game that was based on anime alone. And I guess there are a few other things, but most of the time, basically the card game is based on anime stuff. So, actually, no, they do other stuff too, kind of. It's kind of similar to what they do with Magic, where they do like crossovers. But most of the time, White Schwartz is just anime. And I always look for the animes that I've watched. So, I would like to do one of Disgaea. I would like to do one of Ken Cole or Kantai Collection. I want to do one of High School DxD and like all these other animes, all these other animes, I actually just got done watching a anime just recently, and that was Trinity 7. And I don't know if White Schwartz has ever done a Trinity 7 set, but I'd have to look into that. If they have, that'll be a good one to do. Problem is, if they have already done it, say like back around 2018 or something, guaranteed it's going to be expensive, and I don't think I could pull it off. But never say never. I mean, I wanted to do a Sword Art Online one at one point, but they finally actually released a new Sword Art Online one, and that was the 25th one, I believe it was. Same kind of goes with the Data Live one, I think, because I did a Data Live one for the trial deck, and then they did the 2 and 3 for the seasons, for season 2 and 3. So a lot of cool things I do with White Schwartz. And I like to do Pokemon cards. I like to do Magic cards. If Garvey ever tells me there's anything coming up. I know he did just recently, but I realized I wouldn't have the money for it. So I'm kind of missing out on that one. But if he tells me like beginning of the month, it's like, if you can tell me these things, I could do more Magic ones for you guys. And kind of the same with Digimon too. It's like, I kind of want to do more Digimon. And if they ever do come back, because I heard tales and rumors that this could be a thing now. But if they ever do come back, I would love to do Chaotic. Chaotic was one of the trading card games that I started getting myself into, similar to White Schwartz. Anyway, again, I'm sorry again, but thank you guys so much for watching this Let's Open TCG video. Of course, I've been Big LT. I will see you guys next time. Next time, I don't know. Okay, so quick thing before I wrap up. I got 2 things that I'm going to be doing that are TCG related. I have one of them right now, but I'm supposed to do that with somebody else, but I haven't really found anybody else to do it with yet. I'm going to ask Parker next time I see her. Maybe we can work it out. She won't be on camera, though. She'll be off camera, but I'm sure if we do it together, she can show you the card, but she's not going to try to show her face. So if she accidentally does, that's her fault, but I'm sure she'll be going to be a little more careful. But anyway, there's that. But there's also the White Schwartz one as well, which I brought up, anime that I'm going to be doing soon. So, but again, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have a good day. Take care, and see you guys next time. Bye-bye.